What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining the live stream. So we're going to go over the EV tax credit. There are so many questions. I thought that this would be a more casual live stream. I'm going to go over some information on Twitter. I want you to ask some questions. So let's just get right into it. I want to pull up Twitter right now. So what we're going to go over is the EV tax credit. Just as a summary for all of you just joining, if you have questions about the EV tax credit, there's so much changing that I'm constantly researching what is changing, how much you're going to get, if there's any type of bonuses for things like union companies, which Teslas qualify. So basically, we're going to get right into that. Thanks for joining. Thank you all for watching the channel Front to Trunk. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, check out my Twitter page. And this is where a lot of the latest news is happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll through some of this information here. And we're basically going to walk you through some of the latest updates and what the latest updates are. So currently, one of the main holdouts is Senator Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona. So her and Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, if you remember the Build Back Better plan, that was a whole long process. In December, we were hoping to get that passed. We were hoping to get $7,500. Well, now, if you're just coming to the conversation, hey, Moses, guys, put your chats, your questions. It's a Q&A session, much more casual. I want a lot of conversation. If you're unaware, the Build Back Better plan is dead. Now we have the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. So what does it all mean? You're going to get $7,500 towards your Tesla purchase. Now, there's some caveats. So for all of you joining, we're going to go over those caveats and do some live research. Thank you so much for watching the channel. But there's so many good resources on Twitter. So if you don't follow me there, this is where you get those live updates. So here you go, Bearded Tesla. You guys probably follow a lot of the same people that I do. Elon Musk, you probably heard of that guy. The latest is this. So the vote is coming up tomorrow. That's what I am understanding. The $7,500 is, from what I'm understanding right now, there's been some talks about point of sale versus dealerships. Now, this is such a confusing thing. This is a constantly changing conversation. I've heard things, I've seen things on Twitter that now, because dealerships are the ones that are able to give the consumer, you, the point of sale credit, that Tesla will not have a point of sale, and you're going to have to wait until your the time of filing your taxes to get the $7,500. So basically what we're doing right now is breaking this all down. So if you missed that, there's been some debate on when you get the $7,500. The rear wheel drive Model 3, does it qualify? Well, no, based on the battery being produced in China. I think it's 40%, maybe it's 50%. I'm pretty sure it's 40% of the battery components must be made in North America or by a company that the United States has free trade with. And China is not on that list. Hello, Brian. Hello, Raul. Hello, Dee and Andrew. Does this count towards plug-in hybrids? Yes. So actually, I'm pretty sure this is where I film all my videos. I have all kinds of post-it notes from past videos. Let's see here. Yeah, so I got some questions right here from the last one. What if you have a current order? Are you going to get the credit? Yes. If you take delivery in 2023, you will get the credit if you currently have an order now. But what if you're taking delivery tomorrow or before 2023? Will you get the credit? No. If you take delivery this year, you will not get the credit. You can delay your order. Now, what's going to happen is Tesla is going to put pressure on you. I shouldn't say it that way. They have certain rules where you can't push back your delivery date too far. If that happens, they're going to cancel your order. If you have an order, and I'll get back to the EV tax credit here in a second. So hang on with me. If you have a current order, you can cancel it. You're going to lose that non-refundable deposit. It's probably $250, and you can reorder to make sure you're going to take delivery in 2023. That's the only way you're going to get this credit. if it passes, which it very much looks like. The latest update, if you missed it, if you're just joining, Kirsten Sinema, Senator of Arizona, is backing this act. There's been some changes. She wants to change, it's like a 15% corporate tax or something. I know I'm butchering it, but it has nothing to do with the EV tax credit. Her main changes have to do with big corporation taxes. So if you do have an order, you can delay it, you can cancel it. If you take delivery in 2022, you will not get the credit. Hello, Sonny. Andrew, do you know if the RAV4 is, so here's the thing. So let's do this. I want to do this right now. Let's see if I can figure this out here. And thank you all for joining. I really do appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's see how we do this. I'm a little bit new to this this whole thing. Let's try this. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out later. We'll figure it out. But long story short, there's a article on Tesla Ratty. I will look it up. It shows you a full Excel sheet of which EVs or hybrid vehicles qualify. So the latest is I would expect a decision tomorrow, honestly. There's been a lot of talks about this being voted on this week. So here's another question currently. Did they vote on it yet? No, well, we just talked about that. Could this bill change? Yes. There's been a lot of misinformation out there. I just want to clear this up. I took to Twitter. If you're not following me, check out my Twitter page if you would like. But there's a lot of misinformation. I try to filter through all of that and give you guys the facts. And the misinformation was that there was new union bonuses. I think they were talking about the old Build Back Better plan where it gave a union bonus. And also there's been a lot of talks about if you're buying from a dealership, will you get the point of sale credit or will you have to wait until 2023 tax filing? I've seen some things on Twitter. Let's see if we can find it. So this is the whole idea of this stream is I wanted to do some research in real time with you. I wanted to look this up. I wanted to get to the bottom of it. So let's just check this out here. Now, if you guys don't follow some of these folks, I know Sawyer Merritt is really popular on Twitter. Okay, let's see. Jeeves is really popular. So the EV tax credit, you know what, guys? There's been a lot of changes. Let's see. Moses, if you have any questions, put them in the chat below. I really do appreciate it. Does the Model Y long range get the incentive? It does. So the other question that we have here, I have all these post-it notes from former videos. So another question that we get asked all the time is, what are the caps? So the new vehicle caps are $80,000 for SUVs. So if you're unaware, I will answer. Yes, Brian. So just real quick, the new caps are $55,000 for sedans and $80,000 for SUVs. So the Model Y is considered a small SUV. So any Model Y is going to qualify, and this is the base price, which is $59,900 and $69,000, I believe, at this time. So I just want to point out, so this is a big thing. If you watched the last call, the shareholders meeting that was just a few days ago, this is really, really big. This is what I would suggest to a lot of you watching, a lot of you considering buying a Tesla or maybe canceling a current order. So Elon talked about inflation, right? And inflation calming and perhaps seeing the price of Teslas fall if we see inflation calm down. Well, on the shareholder meeting, he did say a lot of the commodity prices and materials prices that are used to make batteries and a lot of the Tesla parts are trending down. So what I'm suggesting, what I'm going to do personally, because I have a Model 3, I've had it for a year, I absolutely love it, is to wait, is to wait about a month or two. Because Elon is saying that they're trending, their cost is trending down. Now, the big question is, will prices go up if the EV tax credit passes? Well, I had a few conversations with some of you on Twitter or on YouTube, and I think that if Tesla automatically increases their price as soon as this passes, it's going to come off very negatively. They don't have a demand issue, but their reputation is still very important. They're leading the market share. They're setting records with production and sales, but they don't want to automatically increase price if this passes. Imagine if it passes on Saturday and then we see a $5,000 increase, or we've seen $10,000 increases in the past for the S or the X or those higher end Teslas. Well, if that happens, I feel like it will deter a lot of the buyers. I don't think that'll happen. What I think will happen is we will see a slight decrease. Elon has even taken to Twitter and said, if inflation calms, we'll see a slight decrease. I expect to see a slight decrease by the end of the year. He did on the last shareholders call a few days ago say that he's expecting a recession to happen. He said a mild recession. He said it kind of nonchalantly almost. He said it would be about a 12 to 18-month recession. But he's also saying that their cost is trending downward. So I'm reading that and I'm thinking costs are going to go down. I don't think it's going to go down more than $3,000. So that's my prediction. I think that at the top, we're going to see a $3,000 increase, maybe on Model S or Model X. I think the Model 3 maybe will fall $1,000 so that the long range goes under that $55,000 sedan cap. Something to think about. I'm going to answer some of these questions in the chat. Again, guys, really appreciate all of your support. So Brian says, if I got the $7,500 incentive and my wife bought a qualifying EV, okay, could she also get the $7,500 credit? This is a really good question. He's asking Brian, could she, if you have a spouse or if you're filing jointly with somebody. Now, Brian, I don't know your current situation, if you're filing jointly or for tax reasons, if you decide to file separately. I'm not a CPA, so I would defer to a CPA for any kind of financial advice. This is not financial advice. But if you can both get the credit. You can, yes, both get the credit. From how I read the act, it goes on how you're filing your taxes and how much income you're making. So for single filers, I believe it's $155,000. I'm 99% sure on that. There's been so many changes, but if you fall below that income cap, you can get, if you're filing separately as a single earner, you will get that $7,500. By the way, I'm just reading some of these questions. If you're looking at a used Tesla, there's a new $4,000 credit for used vehicles, for used EVs. So let's change up this page a little bit. I feel like you guys have been staring at it this entire time. I'm going to try to find some new information here. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining the stream on a Friday night. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. I don't do it enough. If you're like me, you have a busy schedule. Maybe you work full time, maybe you work part time, maybe you have a family, things like that. So I do my very best to come out with videos, valuable videos, and I really do appreciate you all. So put your comments, your questions down below. So I just want to add here, I have a Model 3 standard range, and I just want to tell you guys, when it comes to price, and I want to tell you a little piece of advice. I have not come out with a video about this yet. I had an article actually posted on Tesla Ratty that talked about resale value. This is really important if you're thinking about getting a Tesla, because there's new vehicles coming down the road, like the Cybertruck, like the Roadster, like the standard range Model Y, which is going to be the most affordable Model Y, coming out soon. Not sure when. I actually tweeted Elon today about that. We heard a lot about the standard range, which I think is rumored to be $60,000. So that also would qualify for the EV tax credit. But the resale value has gone down. Okay, just the overall summary of it. I've had offers from Carvana, from a company called InRide, Tesla, Driveway, Car Gurus. 2 weeks ago, I put in my VIN number and I got 6 or 7 different offers. And if you're thinking about, well, will the EV tax credit, Will this affect resale value? Because now EVs are more affordable because of the EV tax credit. Is my car going to still hold its value? Well, there's been probably 2 or 3 of those 6 or 7 companies. So probably half of the companies have given me slightly less for my Tesla. Now I said slightly less. Again, I've been driving this car for 2 or 3 more weeks, so there's more mileage on the car as well. So that could affect the value. Just keep that in mind. But overall, probably lost maybe $400, $500 in value. But the thing is, those other offers, I mentioned maybe half of them went down while the other half went up. So you can't always say, well, if this EV tax credit happens, then it's a disaster for all resale values. It's funny because I actually have the text message. I don't even know if I'm allowed to show you guys, but I kind of want to. I can't because, well, their cell phone number is on it, but I can't. I don't want to show the cell phone number. Long story short, is a representative from InRide, and they said, keep in mind that used cars have been at a premium for 2 years. However, they've been dropping the last 60 days and continue to trend downward. So of course, they're trying to buy my car, right? So they're trying to incentivize me to sell it. But it's just so you guys know, if you're thinking about buying a Tesla over the last 2 weeks, since all this commotion has come up about the EV tax credit, the resale values I've received on my Tesla have been more money than what I've received in the past, and they've also been less money. That's exactly why you shop around. Put in your VIN number if you have a Tesla to every single company: Tesla, Carvana, Vroom, Driveway, InRide, Car Buyers USA, I think is one, that Bearded Tesla. If you follow Bearded Tesla on YouTube, put me on too. Okay, let's get some of these questions. Marcel, thank you for joining. Kevin, thank you for joining. Sandy, thank you so much. All of you guys. Lai, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So let's look at some of these questions. Do you think that Tesla will go up in 2022? I have a delivery date of September. Okay, so up in price. So if you have ordered a Tesla and you already put in your order, then you've locked in that price, if you're talking about price. If you have not ordered your Tesla, then, like I said, I believe, based on what Elon said on Twitter, that he is seeing the price of materials trending down. He's also seen, by the way, something I didn't say on that earnings call, or it's actually this shareholders meeting call just a few days ago. He said that inflation will sharply decline. He said he expects a recession about 18 months. He said it'll be mild and that inflation will sharply decline. So immediately I heard that and I said, I'm not placing my order, because Elon said on Twitter, if inflation declines, so will the price of Teslas. My advice to you, I don't think anybody's talking about this, is to wait a few days. If you haven't placed your order, I'm sorry, a few months, wait a few months to see, one, if the EV tax credit will pass, and then two, if the price of Teslas go down. So let me see here. I'm gonna try to change these tabs here. I don't know, honestly, if it's going to do much, because I don't have many. I was going to show you an article from Tesla Ratty. That was me logging in right there, trying to figure out all this technology, right? All right, let's go back to some of these questions. Okay, DJ, thank you for joining. If you're watching this on the rewatch, by the way, so the main summary is this: Kyrsten Sinema, senator out of Arizona, has come through and supported the Inflation Reduction Act proposed by Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. It gives a $7,500 credit. There's been some debate about the point of sale credit. Point of sale, I've seen language on Twitter that says you have to go through a dealership, and Tesla doesn't have dealerships, and there's been some debate on when you would get that credit. I'm going to look into that, come out with a video on it very, very soon. Also, there has been some misinformation on union incentives. Remember, the Build Back Better plan had around a $4,000 union bonus. It's an extra incentive on top of the $7,500. I don't believe that is the case with this Inflation Reduction Act. Could this fail? What's the possibility of this failing? If you're watching this video right now, we can say my prediction is this is 100% going to pass. Now, I'm not a fortune teller. There's a lot of compromise that has to happen in politics, right? But the two main holdouts, we've been making videos on this since December, are Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, and they are both leading this proposal. The Democrats have the votes they need in the Senate to pass this. I do believe it will pass, which means $7,500 for you. Let's get back to some of these questions. So we're talking about current orders. I see some questions on current orders. If you haven't placed your order, if you're just joining the stream, I would wait about 1 or 2 months. Don't buy your car right now. And I say that because, one, we don't know if this is even going to pass. I do expect, like I said, I am confident that it will pass. I can say that with fair certainty based on who is supporting this act. And also because prices might go down. I don't want you to get really excited that you're going to get $7,500 and then you order your Tesla and you locked in that price. But I did hear that if the prices go down after you order, you will get that lower price. They're not going to make you pay the higher price, but I saw information. I want you to check out my Twitter. I am an absolute nobody on Twitter. I need some followers, guys. But long story short, I saw some conversation on Twitter from a reliable source. I know everybody says that. Holy cow, I lost my train of thought. Somebody help me in the chat. $7,500. Okay. Hello, Edwin, Kevin. So the price caps. So we're having some questions about the price caps. So it's $80,000 for an SUV. So it's $80,000 for the Model Y. It's $55,000 for sedans or the Model 3. So the rear wheel drive qualifies because the base price is under $55,000. Well, that's not true, because there's also a line in there about battery components needing to be produced in North America or a country the United States has a free trade with, from what I remember. And that does not include China. So the rear wheel drive is not included. The long range, the price needs to come down for that to qualify. Like I said, if you wait a month or two, I do believe we will see slight price decreases, in which case the long range might qualify. So I just want to tell you this, guys. I just want to pause real quick. I just want to talk to you one-on-one. Let's take a quick break. I just want to tell you, if you're thinking about which one you should buy, the Model 3 or the long range. I have the Model 3. My brother has the Model Y Performance. I've driven both. Obviously, the Model Y is super amazing. It's a lot more space, super quick. But don't sleep on the Model 3. As a daily driver, I drive it, hours at a time, all over town here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I would say that for a lot of folks, as a daily driver, the Model 3, even without the tax credit, is a great value. The rear wheel drive at its current price. I mean, I really honestly think the enjoyment that I've had, the reliability I've had leaving my home every morning after charging it overnight has been worth every single penny. Please test drive one, because they're so much fun to drive. They're so much fun. So let's jump back here into to Twitter world. Let's go see what's going on here. By the way, they had a Tesla owners meetup, I think, in California. Actually, it's tomorrow. It is the nation's largest. We don't need to see this. We want to see some Tesla stuff. Come on, Sandy Monroe, absolute legend. So Andrew asked, is the discount the same $7,500 for sedans and SUVs? So it's actually broken up into two different $3,500 segments, I believe. 3,750 segments. So it's based on the battery size and it's based on the components of the battery. So the battery size, the Tesla model, the Model Y and the Model 3 qualify, but the main hangup is the battery components. That's why the rear wheel drive doesn't qualify. And the price, there's price caps of 80,000 and 55,000. So that also affects which Tesla qualifies as well. And by the way, guys, we don't usually do these live streams, so I really do appreciate it. I apologize if I'm fumbling around with technology a little bit and getting used to it. Please drop a like so you know that you enjoyed this content. We're going to continue here. Drop your questions in the comments below. If you're watching this on rewatch, put them in the comments because I try to respond to as many as possible. Thank you, Bradford. I really appreciate that. Consistency is key. I really try to come out with a video at least once every 3 days. So I just want to talk about prices. So what is your strategy? If you're looking at this EV tax credit, we're talking about all these great things, $7,500, that's great. Let's say you're looking at a Tesla that does qualify or other vehicles, other EVs, other hybrids. Well, what you want to do is you want to look at what the leadership is saying. And I can only comment on Tesla because that's what I focus on. But Elon, in the last a few days ago, the shareholders meeting said that their prices for materials and components of Teslas are trending downward. He predicted an 18-month recession. He predicted an 18-month recession, again, that it will be mild and that would see inflation fall drastically and quickly. So whenever I hear that, and then Elon also took Twitter and said, if inflation falls, we will see prices decrease, then that's exactly why I would suggest, my opinion, is to wait 1 or 2 months to place your order. So another question, I have a bunch of questions here from past videos, is if you're looking at a lease, will it qualify? From what I've read, it will not. Leases, the credit would go to the dealership in the past. Now, obviously, Tesla doesn't have dealerships, but I don't believe there was any language in there about giving credits to leasees or leaseors, whatever it happens to be. Probably butchered that, but that's okay. I have not watched Edwin. I've not watched the Full Send podcast. What time is it? It's about 9:45 here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I think I'm going to check that out afterwards. I'm going to check that out. So they have not voted on it. The last I saw updates, and I'm looking at this literally all day long, is I have not seen that they voted on it. I would expect it to be a vote. I expect a decision based on what I was reading today. I expect a decision tomorrow. That is the latest that I was reading. But you know what? It doesn't hurt to check Twitter. Guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, please, I'm an absolute nobody on Twitter. So go ahead, check out my Twitter. Go ahead and give it a follow. What the heck? Why not? I am actually surprised that I don't see more about it. If you didn't hear, Tesla's 3-to-1 stock split coming up on August 25th. Pretty cool, pretty amazing. They are honestly, I mean, I think it's a forward moving company. They're so far ahead with market share, with loyalty, with everything like that. I wish I was financially able years ago to go in, maybe a little more seriously than I initially did with Tesla stock. But yeah, Edwin, that's a great point. So this is a really good point that Edwin brought up. Elon did touch on price reductions again and saying that the trends show that prices should come down. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of speculation, guys. There's so much speculation and Tesla hate and FUD and things like this, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, fancy acronym. But a lot of people have been quick to hate on Tesla. And you know what's really funny, guys? EVs, all of a sudden, when Tesla really caught fire, and they've been in business for about 10 years, and over the past few years, if you look at their sales, they really took off. But now all of a sudden, competition is serious about EVs, about making modern looking cars with less, with screens nowadays. Tesla has changed the game. And it's easy to say as a critic of Tesla, well, they're increasing prices and blaming inflation as a scapegoat, blaming things like the pandemic as a scapegoat, as an excuse for price increases because they have record margins. I see it all the time. I see it on Twitter. If he is so worried about prices being high, then why do they keep increasing prices? Doesn't seem fair. Why is the Cybertruck no longer available in a single motor? Why will prices be higher than what was promised? Well, prices are a reflection on cost. And yes, to be fair, demand. It's simple economics that Tesla can increase price because they have a 3-year wait on the Cybertruck. That's per Elon, by the way, a 3-year wait. By the way, I ordered a Cybertruck a few weeks ago. Had to get in line. I know I'm not going to get it for a while, but who cares? So it's a lot of Tesla hate. But here's the thing. On these calls, Elon says it's because of the forward forecast. So they're forecasting 6 to 8 months from now what the price of their commodities will be for batteries, for cars, and they have to future predict what those will be and adjust for it. Because if they're seeing that the cost of lithium for the LFP batteries or whatever it happens to be is increasing or trending upward, and their analysts don't see any end in sight for 6 to 8 months, they have to bake that cost into their price. It is typical business practice. They're not going to, most companies won't say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and eat that cost. They still have to run a company. It's going to drive some people away from Tesla because of the price. Yes. But they're also tracking reservations. So there's a fine line. How much are we going to lose customer-wise, loyalty-wise, repeat customer-wise if we increase our price X amount? That's exactly why I don't think prices will go up if this passes the EV tax credit. I don't think it will. And I think that because it would be a clear as day money grab. It would look terrible for Tesla. That's something that Legacy Auto does on a daily basis. They get a Ford F-150 Lightning and mark it up $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000. I'm not even making this up. We've seen it. We've seen examples of it. Okay, guys, if you do like this content, we're probably going to wrap it up here pretty soon. Please drop a like. That's the only way I know that you enjoy it. So a few more questions. Let's get into a few more questions before we wrap it up here. I really do appreciate you hanging on with me. trying to figure out this technology, but I think we did make it work. Anything else I would want to point out? Which cars are qualified as of now, as it's written, are the Model 3 rear-wheel drive qualifies on price. However, the battery is made in China. A lot of the components are made in China, and that disqualifies it. The Model Y, by the way, there's been a lot of disinformation about that, even from myself. I'll be the first one to say it. I had to correct myself and came out with a video and said, hey, based on the price, looks like we're good. And then you look at where the battery is made and you look at the fine print. Don't worry, it's only a 2,100 page act, Inflation Reduction Act. There's a lot of fine print. Surprise, surprise. So Moses, good question. If you're watching the rewatch and you still have some questions, put them in the comment section below. But on the live stream here, Moses asked if I already ordered and the prices go down, would my Tesla order go down too? So I saw some language over here on Twitter. Go ahead, follow me on Twitter. Why not? Who cares? I did see some stuff. Sorry, I'm not more prepared. I don't have the comment pinned or anything like that. Here, by the way, here's my profile. I'm looking for if it's pinned. That's what I'm doing right now. But I did hear that if you do place an order and the price goes down, you'll get that lower price. So I did hear that, and that was from a a fairly reliable source on Twitter. I know that sounds really vague, but they said they spoke to Tesla, the Tesla location in their area, and it was coming from them, not that user's opinion on what might happen. It was actually coming from Tesla. Okay, Raul, good question here. Probably going to wrap up after this one, but I do want to finish with something that's very, very important about future videos and future information. So stick around. The income requirements, is it for 2022 or 2023? So Raul was giving the example of, let's say your income changed in 2022. Which income statement, I guess, would they actually take? This one I am a little confused about, to be honest. I don't want to take a guess. I'm not a CPA. I haven't looked into this part, to be honest. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't know enough information about this to give you an educated answer. So that will be something for the next video. I have been writing down. There's so many questions. There's so many questions that it's hard for even us to keep up whenever we're researching this stuff every single day. So I will include that in the next video. So guys, the answer is this. It's looking good. If you're looking at a Tesla right now, it's looking really good. And by the way, let me show you something real quick before I let you go. If you're looking at a Tesla, look how much you can save. So you hear that thing about record high gas prices, but don't worry, they've come down and the average is only around $4 a gallon. Still a lot of money. So here's my Tesla app. If you can see here, I save around $242 in gas versus charging. I know it's a little fuzzy, but up here you can see I spent $75 over the past 31 days. So keep in mind that when we're talking about monthly expenses, and only you know your expenses, if you're getting $7,500 back, again, my prediction is this will pass this week. I'm predicting that prices may fall up to $3,000 in the next 1 or 2 months. I'm sorry for the things flying in front of the camera, guys. I'm down here in my studio and these things are taking over. But I do expect prices to fall. That's my prediction. We'll see if I'm right. You're saving around $240 to, I would say, $150 to $250 each and every month. And I'll tell you right now, I mean, my car is parked right on the other side of this wall, and I'm going to wake up with a full charge. The battery in the Model 3, the rear wheel drive, the handling, the acceleration, I've had it for over 12 months and it never gets old. I actually let my wife take it. Let her. It's what's mine is hers, right? But it's still my baby. And I'm very protective of it, my car, and of her. But she takes it to the gym and she absolutely loves driving it. And she says, I look forward to taking the Tesla. And now she wants one. So I can tell you with this EV tax credit, it's looking good. Stay tuned for the latest updates. And please, as always, drop a like so I know you enjoy this content, and consider following me on YouTube and Twitter. Again, this is Matt from Funk to Trunk. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining the live stream. Hope to do more of these and getting even more fine-tuned with this technology. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.